Welcome to Conversations Beyond Borders. I'm Laura, a mindset coach and your guide through the fascinating, sometimes challenging, but always transformative world of midlife. This podcast is for women just like you, women who are growing, questioning what's next, redefining their identities, and stepping into a new chapter with courage and curiosity.
And I'm Susan. Whether it's an empty nest, a career shift, or just that feeling of what now, midlife brings many questions, but it also offers incredible opportunities for growth and discovery. We're here to explore it with real stories, expert insights, and honest conversations about what it truly means to navigate this time of life.
In each episode, we'll explore a midlife challenge, whether it's making time for ourselves, stepping into new passions, or letting go of past expectations. We're tackling it all.
And the best part, you're not alone in this. You'll hear from women on the same journey, and we'll uncover the lessons, the laughter, and the aha moments that come with embracing midlife as a fresh beginning.
So whether you're feeling stuck or inspired, unsure, or ready to leap on in, Conversations Beyond Borders is here for you. This is a safe space to dream bigger, dig deeper, and connect with women who are also ready to live boldly beyond the borders of what they once believed possible.
Take a deep breath, find a quiet moment for yourself, and tune in as we navigate midlife together, sharing honest and meaningful conversations. Welcome to Conversations Beyond Borders. I'm Susan, and as always, I'm here with my fabulous co-host, Laura.
Hello, Susan. Hey, everyone. Welcome back. We are so excited about today's conversation. Today, we will be discussing something so many women, especially in midlife, struggle with.
Yes, today we're talking about asking for what you truly need. That sounds simple, right? But for many of us, that's been one of the hardest things to do.
Yes, it is. Breaking down the barriers and asking for what we need can be very difficult. So many of us have been conditioned to believe that advocating for ourselves is selfish, and our value comes from how much we give, not from honoring our own needs.
Oh, so right, Laura. This is precisely why in stage 3 that we call Finding Your Voice, asking for what you truly need, is where we start to assert our needs and preferences. At this stage, it's not just about expressing what we want or require. It's about embracing and stepping into our authentic selves.
Absolutely, Susan. It's in this stage that we start to move beyond recognizing our needs, that we begin to voice them with confidence.
It is a pivotal moment when we stop apologizing for having needs and begin to own them fully instead. By doing so, we create space to honor our truth and recognize that our desires are valid and worthy of being communicated. This stage is about empowerment, self-acceptance, and creating a foundation for healthier relationships with ourselves and others.
But here's the thing. It's not just about learning how to ask. It's about learning how to feel okay while asking. And Susan, I don't know about you, but I have found this to feel very awkward at first. I was incredibly uncomfortable, and I had to practice just to get used to it.
Oh, I agree. I get what you mean, Laura. It's easy to feel uncomfortable asserting your needs, especially if you've never done it before. For me, it was all about getting past that initial discomfort and realizing that my needs are just as valid as anyone else's.
Exactly.
The more I practiced, the easier it got, and I started to see what asking for what I need doesn't make me selfish or demanding. It just makes me human. It took time, but now when I ask for something, I can do it more confidently and without that underlying guilt.
Well, this is where today's conversation is gonna get deep.
Right? Because we start speaking up, it brings up all sorts of complex emotions: relief, pride, skepticism, peace, loneliness, and empowerment with hesitation.
Ugh, empowerment with hesitation. Yikes. That's another one that I found very challenging. We're touching on all the uncomfortable feelings today. So get ready because today we'll walk through each of these emotions, even the awkward ones.
Ah, especially the awkward ones.
And we'll talk about why they show up, how to sit with them instead of running from them, and how to reframe them so we can leverage them for growth instead of barriers that hold us back.
Let's start with what might be the first and maybe the most surprising feeling, Laura: relief. It's remarkable how much tension we unknowingly carry when we suppress our true feelings. The act of voicing our needs can release that pent-up stress, leading to a profound sense of relief. This relief isn't just emotional. It can manifest physically like a weight lifted off your shoulders.
Absolutely, Susan. Many people fear that expressing needs will lead to conflict, but often it doesn't. As the Mayo Clinic notes, being assertive can reduce stress and actually improve communication. When we communicate openly, we often find that others are more receptive than we anticipated, further enhancing that sense of relief.
I agree, and it's essential to recognize that this relief is a sign of personal growth. By honoring our needs, we practice self-respect, which can enhance our self-esteem. As Psychology Today highlights, it's a positive reinforcement that encourages us to continue advocating for ourselves.
I love that. Once we can take a deep breath and we find expressing our needs doesn't lead to the twisted, worst case scenario we imagined, it becomes easier to trust ourselves and the people around us. It's a reminder that our well being matters and that taking care of ourselves is not only okay, but essential. This newfound relief can serve as a foundation for building healthier relationships, leading to a more balanced and joy filled life.
That is such an important thing to remember, Laura.
It sure is, Susan. This is the thing. By embracing and expressing our needs, we alleviate internal stress and pave the way for more authentic and fulfilling interactions with others.
So let's talk about another emotion we might feel when we finally ask to be heard: pride. It's remarkable how, after years of self-silencing, taking that step to voice our needs can ignite a profound sense of pride.
Yes, it can.
This isn't about ego, but acknowledging our growth and courage to break long-standing habits. Embracing this pride reinforces our self-worth and motivates us to continue advocating for ourselves.
So when we advocate for ourselves, we're not just communicating our needs, but validating our right to have those needs met. Studies have shown that self-assertion is closely linked to improved self-esteem and self-love, which fosters a sense of autonomy and respect in our relationships. Over time, this practice can lead to stronger, more honest communication with others.
Yeah, it's interesting to note that assertiveness and self-esteem are deeply intertwined. As we become more assertive, we often experience a boost in self-esteem, creating a positive feedback loop that enhances our overall well-being. This synergy empowers us to navigate challenges with greater confidence and resilience.
Hey, Susan, do you have an example you can share?
I do. I recall feeling restless while my kids were in school, sensing I needed something more, something just for me. So my dear friend and neighbor and I teamed up to create a business called Seasonal Scenes. Before long, we booked weddings and corporate events, bringing our unique decorating ideas to life for each special occasion.
I remember seasonal scenes. I thought it was brilliant. You two had zoned in on a niche missing in the party planning world. Thank you for bringing this up. This venture is a perfect example of how stepping into something new, just for yourself, can be both exciting but a little bit daunting. It's amazing how pursuing something outside of our usual roles can reveal strengths we didn't even realize we had.
Yeah, because initially we just wanted to see what could develop in the business. but I remember feeling a great sense of pride that we had something for ourselves, something that confirmed I had a different skill set hiding under those mothering instincts. It was such a new feeling of self-belief for me, something that I had done outside the roles I played inside the family.
For sure, it's incredible how stepping into something new, even if it starts small, can reveal parts of ourselves just waiting to shine. By embracing courage, we honor our own needs and set a precedence for how we expect to be treated by others. This shift can lead to more fulfilling interactions and a stronger self worth.
Oh, exactly.
It's a transformative journey that begins with the simple act of speaking up for ourselves. Recognizing and embracing this pride is essential as it signifies personal growth and developing healthier, more authentic relationships. But with growth often comes an unexpected companion: grief.
Yeah, grief is such a multifaceted emotion that often accompanies the assertion of our needs, especially in midlife. It's kind of like mourning past behaviors and acknowledging the tangible losses of change. For instance, as we define our roles, we might grieve the loss of specific identities we've held on to, such as being the always available caregiver or the dependable employee who never says no.
Exactly. This grief can also stem from the realization that some relationships are predicated on our self sacrifice. We may face resistance or estrangement from those who took advantage of our previous lack of boundaries as we prioritize our needs.
So true.
These one way relationships can be unhealthy and exhausting. However, setting boundaries and changing the role can still lead to a profound loss as we mourn the relationship and the version of ourselves that was intertwined with that relationship.
Yeah. And additionally, there's the grief associated with unmet expectations and unfulfilled dreams. In midlife, we often take stock of our lives and recognize the disparities between our aspirations and realities. As we assert our needs, we're confronted with the time lost to self neglect, leading to sorrow and regret over paths not taken or opportunities missed.
Understanding that this grief is a natural and necessary process of our personal growth is essential. By allowing ourselves to feel the process, this grief, we can create a space for healing and transformation. Embracing these emotions can lead to a more authentic and fulfilling life where our needs are acknowledged and met.
Wow, grief is so complicated.
Oh, Susan, it is. Navigating grief requires self compassion and patience. Recognizing that mourning past versions of ourselves and our relationships is vital to embracing the empowered individuals that we're becoming.
Amen. But we can't talk about stage 3 without exploring how skepticism in midlife can also arise from past experiences, shifting identities, and a growing awareness of life's complexities. After years of seeing goals unfulfilled, realizing that systems don't always work as they should, and facing personal setbacks, I've noticed that people tend to become more cautious.
Oh, Susan, I know I was very cautious and very interesting. Midlife can bring a deeper understanding of what's real and what isn't, which can be empowering. But at the same time, if skepticism takes over, it can keep us from taking chances that could lead to meaningful growth.
Yes, but if we're not careful, it can also close us off from new experiences and connections that could really bring new meaning and growth. Finding the right balance between questioning things plus staying open is a key to creating a fulfilling next chapter.
Exactly, Susan. The skepticism isn't just internal, external reactions can reinforce it. When those around us are accustomed to our compliance, our newfound assertiveness can disrupt established dynamics, leading to resistance or pushback. And if we're not careful, this response can make us question the validity of our needs and the appropriateness of expressing them.
Yeah, the fear of being perceived as aggressive or selfish can intensify our skepticism. In a book called Yes, Lean In by Sheryl Sandberg, she discusses how women face societal biases when they assert themselves, often being perceived as aggressive or selfish, while men exhibiting the same behaviors are seen as strong leaders, Laura.
Right. Oh my God. There's those oppressive societal expectations again. Oh God, I gotta share. I loved the new Nike commercial that debuted at this past year's Super Bowl. It has these, if you haven't seen it, it has these beautiful, strong female athletes stating a word or a phrase that has been used to diminish them, like you're too emotional, too intense, or too ambitious. I think Nike does a beautiful job of taking these oppressive labels that are put on women that typically have a negative connotation and reframing it into something positive and empowering.
Yes, overcoming this skepticism requires challenging these ingrained beliefs and recognizing that self advocacy is fundamental to our well being.
And understanding and acknowledging that skepticism is a natural part of our growth process. We can begin to unpack its origins and work towards embracing our right to self advocate. Building self esteem and assertiveness in small turtle steps can help us gradually overcome these doubts and reinforce our self worth.
Absolutely, Laura.
Navigating skepticism involves both self reflection and external support. Find safe spaces to practice. Engaging with communities or seeking professional guidance can provide validation and encouragement, which will help reaffirm the importance of our needs and the legitimacy of expressing them.
Absolutely. As we've explored, many women feel a sense of tension and restlessness as they navigate the complexity of midlife transitions. These emotions, often stemming from suppressed feelings, can create internal stress and uncertainty. However, by acknowledging and voicing our needs, we can release that tension, leading to a profound sense of relief and emotional growth. This self advocacy isn't just about reducing stress, it also boosts self esteem and encourages more authentic communication, strengthening our relationships.
Before moving into segment two, consider what past experiences have influenced how you've expressed your needs in the past. Be specific and write some examples that clarify this thought for you. By becoming aware of these influences, you can embrace your authentic voice and confidently advocate for what you truly need. We encourage you to share your insights in your workbook and share experiences in our Facebook community, where your journey can inspire and support others facing similar challenges.
Welcome back to segment two. Now that we've explored the power of asserting ourselves, let's shift to an emotion that often sneaks up on us in midlife: nostalgia. That bittersweet feeling takes us back to a different time where memories feel just within reach, yet impossibly distant. Maybe it's an old song that instantly transports you to a distinct moment in your life. Nostalgia isn't just reminiscing. It's a bridge between who we were and who we are becoming. And today we're going to explore why it shows up, what it means, and how we can embrace it without getting stuck in the past.
Absolutely, Susan. This longing isn't just about missing the past. It's also a way for us to make sense of our present. Reflecting on past experiences, even challenging ones, can provide comfort and a sense of continuity. Interestingly, Olga Kazan, a staff writer for The Atlantic, wrote that people often feel nostalgic for difficult times because these memories highlight their resilience and growth.
That's a great point, Laura. Nostalgia can serve as a bridge between the present and the past. By revisiting our past, we can draw strength from previous experiences, recognizing the challenges we've overcome. This reflection fosters a deeper understanding of ourselves and enhances our self-esteem and sense of meaning in life.
To me, this is an interesting concept. I am more of a windshield than a rear view mirror person. Once I step away, I never look back, but I can see where this reflection can really give us some awareness.
Yeah, me too.
I can totally see how it's essential to approach nostalgia with a balanced perspective. While reminiscing can be comforting, if not careful, we can easily slip into idealizing the past, especially when facing uncertainties in the present.
Oh, I agree.
This idealization can lead to dissatisfaction with our current lives if we're not careful. It's important to remember that our memories are often filtered, making us recall only the good. Those good old days also had their own challenges.
They sure did, exactly. By acknowledging the positives and negatives of our past, we can use nostalgia as a tool for growth rather than a source of regret. Engaging with our memories mindfully allows us to appreciate the journey we've undertaken and the lessons we've learned along the way.
Exactly.
This balanced reflection can enhance our well being and provide valuable insights as we assert our needs and shape our future.
Ooh, I like that. So, are you saying that embracing nostalgia in this way enables us to honor our past while remaining grounded in the present? I would think this could empower us to navigate the complexities of midlife with a bit more resilience and clarity.
Yeah, and it can also create a profound sense of peace. This tranquility often stems from aligning our actions with our true selves, creating that inner harmony. Engaging in self-care practices such as mindfulness and stillness can further enhance this sense of peace, allowing us to navigate life's challenges more resiliently. Pilates has helped me to establish a more grounded space for my day, and your 5-4-3-2-1 grounding practice is brilliant.
Thank you, Susan. Embracing self compassion is another vital aspect of cultivating peace during this stage. By presenting ourselves with kindness and understanding, we can better cope with life's curveballs and make peace with our own imperfections. This practice enhances our mental well being and empowers us to live more authentically.
I absolutely agree.
It's also important to recognize that finding peace involves setting boundaries and prioritizing our needs. Doing so creates space for self reflection and personal growth, which are essential components of inner peace.
Oh, we all need this.
Yes, we do. This intentional focus on our well being allows us to engage with the world from a place of strength and serenity. Embracing these practices and perspectives enable us to cultivate a lasting sense of peace, empowering us to navigate midlife transitions more confidently and clearly.
And while cultivating this peace can be empowering, I've also heard from women that it can often lead to feelings of solitude. This sense of isolation rises up as we step away from our familiar roles and patterns, potentially distancing ourselves from those who may not have understood or even supported our growth. It's a challenging space to navigate as the comfort of previous connections may wane, leaving us to confront our path alone.
Absolutely, Susan. This transition can invoke a profound sense of sadness, especially when our newfound assertiveness strains long-standing relationships. The absence of expected support can intensify feelings of abandonment, making us question our chosen path. It's essential to recognize that this emotional upheaval, while painful, is just a natural part of our journey.
Yes, and these feelings we experience during this period can be both a curse and a blessing. While it may feel like we are isolated from our previous social circles, it also offers a unique opportunity for introspection and self-discovery. While we embrace this solitude, we can realign ourselves with our true selves, fostering resilience and a deeper understanding of our needs and desires.
It's so essential to differentiate between solitude and loneliness. As most dictionaries would agree, we define solitude as a chosen state that provides space for reflection and growth, whereas loneliness is a feeling of sadness that comes from being isolated. By reframing our seclusion as a deliberate and empowering choice, we can transform this time into a period of profound personal development.
Oh, I love that.
Navigating these emotions require patience and self-compassion. While the path of self-assertion may lead to temporary isolation, it ultimately paves the way for more authentic connections and a stronger sense of self-worth.
Yes, it sure does. Now, some of these terms and thoughts can be difficult to hear for the first time. So we encourage you, go to our Facebook community and find a new resource worksheet for this episode.
We have explored a range of emotions in today's episode that surfaced during this transformative period. Let's briefly recap them.
Yeah, let's. First, we discussed relief, the liberation felt when expressing one's true needs after years of self-suppression.
Then we talked about pride, a sense of accomplishment and self-respect upon successfully advocating for ourselves.
Yeah, we had to touch on grief, these mourning past behaviors and unmet expectations, or the loss of a relationship that no longer aligns with one's authentic self.
Skepticism was another key emotion, experiencing doubt and uncertainties about the legitimacy of our needs or the reactions of others to newfound assertiveness.
Nostalgia was reflecting on those previous life stages with mixed emotions, often longing for past roles or identities.
Achieving peace, inner calm and harmony by aligning actions with true desires and practicing self-compassion.
We also addressed loneliness, these feelings of isolation that may arise when personal growth leads to changes in social dynamics or distancing from unsupportive relationships.
And finally, we have empowerment with hesitation, experiencing increased confidence in self-advocacy coupled by cautiousness about potential challenges or societal judgments.
Right, understanding all these emotions is crucial for navigating the path to self-assertion and personal growth in stage 3.
Join us next time in Conversations Beyond Borders as we explore the theme of embracing change during midlife.
We'll discuss strategies for navigating significant life transitions, such as a career shift, changes in family dynamics, and personal reinventions in our next episode.
With insights and practical advice, we'll help you approach these changes with confidence and resilience.
Don't miss this empowering conversation designed to inspire you to face midlife transitions head on and embrace the opportunities they bring.
The journey may not always be easy,
but we promise you,
it will be worth it. Now, here is some of the legal stuff. The information shared on this podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and should not be considered professional health advice, diagnosis, or treatment. We are not licensed mental health professionals, and the content of this podcast is not intended to replace care from a qualified mental health provider. If you are experiencing distress, facing challenges in your mental health, or require professional support, we strongly encourage you to seek help from a licensed healthcare professional. If you are in crisis and need immediate support, you can contact the Suicide Crisis Lifeline by dialing 988 or texting 988. Trained crisis counselors are available 24/7 to offer free and confidential support. This podcast is designed to inspire and support women navigating midlife transitions, but your journey is unique and professional guidance can make a significant difference.